The Yuuzhan Vong were an alien species cut off from the Force who would invade the galaxy after the Battle of Endor in 25 ABY when the New Republic was the galactic hegemon. However, the Yuuzhan Vong had incursions that occurred during the Old Republic era, which included an encounter where Mandalorian Neo-Crusaders had absolutely destroyed a Yuuzhan Vong world ship, yet many Mandalorians were melted away like wax. But the point is that the Vong are around in the time of Exar Kun and the Old Republic with advanced scouts. So what if they fully invaded the galaxy during the Jedi Civil War? The state of the galaxy during the Jedi Civil War is the aftermath of the Mandalorian War, where Revan and Malak had disobeyed the Jedi Council and led a group of Jedi to aid the Republic and defeat the Mandalorians. This was around 40 years after the Vong first arrived and 5 years after the Mandalorian Neo-Crusaders had chased down the world ship. So now you might be asking yourself, at what point of the Jedi Civil War will the Yuuzhan Vong be invading in? The beginning, the middle, or the end? First, I'm going to talk about Revan and Malak, though. After slaying Mandalore the Ultimate and winning the war with a sweeping victory at Malachor 5, Revan and Malak were hailed as heroes and saviors of the Republic. But the battle would be so destructive that it even created a wound in the Force. Soon after the battle, Revan led the remainder of their forces, who were more loyal to him than the Republic, into the unknown regions under the pretense of tracking down the remaining remnants of the Mandalorian fleet. But they did not return, and they sent no word about their whereabouts. In time, the Republic feared that they were lost in some tragic disaster, but in reality they were amassing their forces to prepare for a conquest of the Republic as Revan and Malak fell fully to the dark side. Revan's empire would launch an attack on the Republic in the Battle of Forest following their acquisition of the Starforge from the ancient Rakata. Revan's empire was on the offensive and would even include many Mandalorians and former Republic soldiers loyal to him, as his strategic and tactical skill was unmatched. However, Revan's primary enemy would end up being his own apprentice Malak, who would turn against him during the war and leave him for dead. Revan would eventually be redeemed to the light side of the Force and kill his former apprentice with the help of Bastila Shan, which ended the Jedi Civil War. So the Yuuzhan Vong invasion will occur during the start of the Jedi Civil War, where Revan's offensive is absolutely destroying the Republic. When the Vong invade, they are witnessing the period in galactic history where Force abilities were absolutely insane. But because they are cut off from the Force doesn't mean they won't be impacted by it, as they would begin to exhibit little connection to the Force, which would end up costing them dearly in the Yuuzhan Vong War. Additionally, the Vong would likely be horrified at beings such as Darth Sion, who served Revan's empire at the time. While the Yuuzhan Vong begin their invasion, Revan and Malak are mustering their forces at the Starforge for a further conquest of the Republic. Revan would probably initially see the Yuuzhan Vong as a minor threat, but unlike the New Republic, which came almost 4,000 years later, Revan wasn't an idiot, and took threats from the unknown regions a lot more seriously. So after the Vong are able to take a few planets, Revan immediately diverts forces to crush them. Although this would start to cost him his momentum against the Republic, it's worth it. At the same time, Revan allows for some of the Yuuzhan Vong to move against the Republic to compensate for his diversion. Revan would most likely be victorious against the Vong with the Starforge super weapon, and his willingness to sacrifice entire planets and cause so much destruction, it would be cold but pragmatic. Revan's actions would likely create similar wounds in the Force over planets which he engaged the Yuuzhan Vong in combat. The dark side in this scenario will grow even stronger than it ever had been before, as entire systems are not just wiped out, but become anomalies in the Force. This would also horrify the Vong beyond anything they could have possibly ever imagined. Furthermore, any Republic forces which had fought against the Yuuzhan Vong would likely see Revan's empire as preferable due to their ability to defeat the Vong, combined with the Republic's inability to wage an effective war against the aliens, which were already a horrifying enough faction for the Republic to face at the same time as Revan. So defections to Revan's factions after engaging in combat against the Yuuzhan Vong would likely be a common occurrence by the Republic forces. Malak's betrayal of Revan would come after the Yuuzhan Vong had been defeated, and Malak now believes that he can lead the Sith Empire against the Republic. However, I feel like due to the war against the Vong, much of the Imperial forces would be even more loyal to Revan himself instead of just Revan's empire. It's kind of similar to the Mandalorian War, where Republic soldiers and Jedi became more loyal to Revan than the Republic after the events of Malachor 5. My point is that Malak now has a serious problem on his hand, which is an entire army of Revan loyalists. With Revan gone, Malak still has his own forces, but most of Revan's empire and what little is left of the Republic fight against Malak to make quick work of his dwindling empire and control. Therefore, the only thing that would have prevented Revan's conquest of the entire galaxy was his apprentice. Once this version of the Jedi Civil War ends, the remnants of Revan's empire reconciles with the small Republic, as the new galactic hegemon, but this empire would later face vitiate Sith Empire with the Republic. However, this is of course just my opinion. What do you think would have happened had the Yuuzhan Vong invaded the galaxy during the Jedi Civil War of the Old Republic era? Write in the comments, and thank you for watching.